Hello and welcome to Two Cups of Tea with me. Today I'm with Chris, Cathy and Rach, who are co-owners of CM2. So I thought we'd do an episode just to see what it's like to own and run a gym together.
Woo!
Woo! So for the people that are not going to know this was obviously ran and owned singly by Rob Manlove. Big up to the Manlove. And you guys decided to take it over. Why?
Well, it started with Chris, didn't it? Yeah, you start.
Okay, so wanted to own a gym. Always wanted to own a gym since starting CrossFit, not since forever.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have the mic slightly closer. Perfect.
So for me, owning a gym was kind of a dream. So I was going to originally do it with somebody else, who decided it wasn't for them in the end.
Okay.
So one day I spoke to Cathy on the phone, and she said about Rach. So it was originally going to be me and Rachel do it together, and then within about half hour, spoke to Rach on the phone, and then we was buying it basically.
Oh my god! And how did you guys know each other really well prior to owning CM2?
Not well enough in terms of I trained with Cathy anyway, so we trained together, and Rach, we'd all been at the same gym at the same time, so we knew each other. But probably not in a way of owning the business together.
Okay.
So that was but I knew Rach obviously had her own business already before, so that was quite encouraging. Successful business, and Cathy obviously was PTing at the time and was building her own successful business at the same time.
Amazing.
So it was easy in terms of making that decision once I spoke to Cathy and Rachel. We all wanted the same thing.
I remember you calling me about it, and you were a little bit gutted because you were kind of like on your own.
I wasn't gutted. I was absolutely fine about
it. he was sobbing down the phone. No, he wasn't really. But I was instantly, I thought of Rach because I knew her business head would love it, and she loves the gym. I love the gym, but I just knew she would be up for it. And then when I spoke to her, she was like, "Yes, I'm on it."
I love that.
And then from there, I think, and then the idea of you kind of asked for me to come in on it as well, and I was like, well, yeah, it kind of makes complete sense.
Yeah. I remember that day so clearly. So my other half, Jay, he gets annoyed, right? That I have so many creative ideas. I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then he'd literally gone out to the shop, and then I'd had this conversation with Chris on the phone. And then by the time he'd come home from the shop, I was like, I'm buying a gym. He's like, what the fuck? And then I was like, yeah, me and Cathy are going to do it with Chris. And he's like, whatever.
I love that. It literally went from 0 to 100 within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd been here once before. I'd never been here before. Originally started to talk about taking it over.
Yeah.
Came and met Rob halfway through the process, and the first visit of actually coming here. Knew all the history of CM2 because we've got massive history in terms of Essex CrossFit. And then these two hadn't even been here before we'd had that discussion, so it was pretty blind.
We actually did do a little trial at CrossFit CM2 back in the day, So, but that was in its that was way back when it was at the previous location. But
so you hadn't been.
Oh my god! So
not in this building,
many years ago.
No, but we'd met Rob Manlove.
Yeah.
And we'd done a little trial class over there.
It was like the worst class as well ever, for me, because it was like running and pull-ups, which everyone knows is my nemesis still
the
now.
worst thing in the world to do.
And I literally nearly died.
So okay, I'm going to be honest, I was actually expecting 0 to 100, fabulous. So when you guys came in and you took over, did you have a vision on what you wanted? Because I think it's hard. You're not starting from scratch, from nothing. You're taking on a pre-existing gym with its own members, its own, look, its own feel. Did you have a vision on how you wanted it to look after taking it on? Or did you just kind of coast along with that business model and then start to revamp it to what you wanted it to look like?
I guess first things first, we just want to say we love Rob.
He
is the most amazing person. And it has been a pleasure taking it over from him. I guess he was ready to sell, and we were kind of all young and excited, new puppies. And I guess from my perspective, because I do the design and branding and stuff, I thought it was quite an exciting challenge. One of the first things that we said between us all, us three, was about bringing energy back into the gym. So that's been an underlying principle that we've kind of built our foundation off. So all the branding that you see is all really bright and like bright colours and meant to be that like really energised kind of feel.
Yeah.
And you guys, because we all kind of have like our own lanes of what we do. Chris and Kath were really excited about the coaching aspect of it, being able to program, like doing comps and stuff. So I don't know. I think our dynamic works really well.
Yeah, I think when we were working over at Two Tails, there was a lot of we enjoyed the competition side of stuff. So we kind of wanted to bring that over here and not necessarily take it away from the community, because we kind of wanted an amalgamation of the two, so like competitive nature plus community as well. And I think Rach does that really well, and bringing everyone together and like sharing it on social media and like coming up with events and stuff like that. So we wanted it to be kind of a good balance of the two.
Yeah, I think we went into it wanting to create a gym that we wanted to go to, because everywhere we'd been to, something was always missing. Whether it be like open gym during classes or 24/7 open gym. So we'd have put all those stuff in. And we had these dreams of making it our own and what we wanted and what we dreamed of. And then reality hits that actually everything costs money. So you have all these fantasies about all these things you want to be in, and you go, oh, we have this, buy this. And then you then have to start stepping back and realising that you can't have everything. So
and you can't facilitate everything.
So you're trying to have your dream, but you also have your dream inside.
Yeah, reality as well, isn't it?
Actually, you can afford to spend.
I think from a member's perspective, because I am a avid member here every day. I think for me, what's nice is I've been to CM2 previous. I was in a very different phase of my life when I was coming, and I loved Rob and I loved the gym, but for me, it felt very elite. I was not elite, and I wanted to be part of a community where I'm working towards something. People are channeling and championing me on to do that, but I don't necessarily want to compete every single weekend. But I want to have that option where if I want to compete, I'll do it at scale version and still feel good about myself. So when I came back, when I stepped through the doors, for me, very different atmosphere, very welcoming and very nice. Just to actually, if I'm having an off day, I'm going to do what I want to do. Yeah. But when I'm ready to compete, I don't know, the community's really there, which is so nice.
Yeah, I think community is a really important part for us. But I think when I said about competition earlier, we wanted everybody to be able to compete within some form, not necessarily go and compete at an elite level, even just competing with themselves, like just being the best version of themselves. And we're not asking everyone to go and compete on competition floor or the games,
or just to sometimes have that confidence to go, I've never done a competition before, but I'm just going to go and give this a go. And I think that that's what CM2 do really well. When I watch our elite people, I'm looking at them thinking, wow, that is cool. Whereas before I'd look at them and I'd think, you're obnoxious. Isn't it funny though, like that misconception and also that insecurity? Yeah. I think when you walk away and then you come back to it, it's a different mindset.
Yeah. I think one of my favourite moments, like when we first took it over, was going to one of the Colchester events for the first time and just having like so many of us there. Yeah, we were watching it, weren't we? And it was like, I think all three of us were there watching, and I was like, this is just awesome. Like these guys would never have put themselves out on the floor if we hadn't have encouraged them to, and kind of like given them the belief that they could. And I think you're very good at that, like making people feel like they're good enough and able to do things. And
whoa, is that
I like that.
Do not edit that out.
You want to keep that one bit where she's complimented you?
The whole thing about it was just going about 30 seconds on loop for 30 minutes.
Oh my God. Can you imagine he's going to listen to that for like daily for the rest of his life? I think.
No, why did I say that?
I already knew that I was good at that.
You already know. Okay, good. Well, I'm pleased.
Someone else say it.
I think also what's nice is when I did Colchester, you were there and you were filming, and you really do show up for your members in so many different ways. Like, if you don't know, they host so many gatherings, Christmas parties. We've got a summer event coming up. It's not just about coming to the gym and working out or doing a competition and doing well. Like, I know that I'm going to speak on behalf of some members. There are some members that are very recluse, very introverted, and actually very frightened. Yeah. And I've watched quite a few of them, and I've not been here that long. I've watched them flourish and bloom because they feel included and part of something. And I think when you are able to do that, it becomes so much more, doesn't it? And then people then do step out a bit more, don't they? They become more extroverted and excited.
It's like Chris said earlier, we're just kind of doing all the stuff that we wanted as members.
Yeah.
Like, these were all the things that were like, we're just taking little bits of everything we loved, and the Christmas parties, and like, we freaking loved them.
Oh my God, that Christmas party. Photo booth and ride that bull, mate. Sorry, but it was a vibe. I got very drunk. I was like, I'm not going to drink. I think I drank everybody else's drink.
Yeah. We're quite proud of the parties. They're like ones to remember.
All the time. Right, let's not talk about that, though. So, yeah, exactly. So if you think about now, if you rewind back to the beginning, would you have done this as a 3? Would you have carried on and tried to do this solo, or are you glad that you have done this as a 3? Because, like, I think you all definitely have your own lanes. Funnily enough, I was talking to Penny today and I was chatting about the episode, and she was like, yeah, well, when I see Rach, she does all the media, she does all the marketing, and she's bang on it. Cathy does like lots of the coaching, and she's very in tune with the members. And then she went, Chris is definitely operations. He's an operational man and he gets it done. And I laughed.
That is so
That is
true.
definitely it.
But do you know what she said? But she said, actually, funnily enough, she was like, I like the fact that they all know what they're doing and they all know what they're good at. And she said, that's why I think it works.
Yeah. That's really nice to hear.
I know, isn't she cute?
She's right, to be fair. Like, we all kind of say we've all got our different lanes that we kind of stick in, and don't get me wrong, we still help each other, and we're still like throwing ideas pretty much every day. Our chat is like popping off like constantly. But it just works really well, and I really wholeheartedly feel like we got lucky. Like, me and Chris just vibe. We're like on the same kind of wavelength. Sometimes Cathy's on a different one. But it works really well with like just 3 different personalities, and like it's a kind of like a natural selection process as well, because if we do have an idea and there's like 2 people that say yes and the other person says no, you just kind of like, you've got this thing where you just like, I'm not dying on that hill, like, okay, if you 2 agree and you think that's the right thing to do, then let's do it.
Amazing. So would you say that you guys don't really fall out, you don't really argue, like, look, it's different. Love and business are 2 different things, aren't they?
Yeah, we've definitely had arguments in the past.
Shut up. I can't imagine.
No.
Do you just come to the
Maybe
gym and just have a little
disagreements
bro
rather than-
out, and then whoever wins, that squashes it?
These 2 are like brother and sister. Like fight.
Yeah. More like bicker, maybe.
Obviously, I went into business with 2 sisters, and that was something that was a bit stuck. So I was like, you never know, do you? Like in terms of like they've got a different bond to what we have with each other.
Yeah.
But I think what's really, me and Rachel are very, very similar in the way we do things and the way way we think. Like, and say Cathy, like we might go off somewhere and then Cathy will be like, no, come back this way, and then they might go off on something, and I'll be like, realistically, like we haven't got £15 million to spend on that. Honestly, it's hilarious. I'll get things like, what about this? And it's like, you are joking me. Like, where are we going to put that coffee shop? Honestly, the amount of things that just come through, it's like, what about a sauna? Where? Who's running it? Who's paying for it?
And then there was this like one throwdown where it's like, we were going to get pizzas, and I was like, okay, we're going to get 50 pizzas. This is like 50. And I was like, yeah, I think that's how much we'll need. And then turns out we needed like, what, 20?
So we got down to 35. And we gave away 11 pizzas at the end of it.
He was
No, you didn't.
There was 50 people coming. Everyone had their own pizza.
See, this is just why.
I mean, that's amazing. And let me know next time, because I'll eat a pizza and a half. But yeah.
There will never be a pizza per person ever again.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm really upset I missed out on that. I'm actually really gutted, because food is my favourite thing.
So from that moment on, Chris was master of coin.
I love this. But do you know what cracks me up is I love the fact that 2 of you are like, da, 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 and the other one's like lassoing, like, your bitches are coming back.
Yeah, literally.
You've got a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier, isn't it? Like, the more you do, you're like, okay, we know we don't need 50 pizzas now. And yeah, I just think you get more experience with these things, and like, you know where the money should be going. Like, it probably shouldn't be going on 50 pizzas. Like, as much as that sounds amazing from a member's perspective, it is actually just wasteful. And like, the world is burning, and like, I'd actually prefer to spend that money on a piece of kit or like a piece of equipment rather than.
But also, you're going to have teething issues, aren't you? Let's be honest. You've never co-owned a gym before. You've never done this with each other before. So, of course, you're going to Be writing to the tax man like, sorry, but offset this against my bill. I love that. I love that. I think also what's nice is you guys accommodate for everybody. And I've watched you. I mean, they're also High Rocks affiliated, just in case you wanted to know. And
Sorry, just on that, it is a much worse sport than CrossFit. Just to clarify.
But we love it.
Do we love it?
No. Hate running.
This is the dynamic.
yeah, but this is good. I'm going to carry on. So we are now High Rocks affiliated. We do have some badass bitching equipment, and sometimes we do grip, which is my favourite. But Chris don't want to pull out the equipment enough. So just in case you didn't want to know, but wanted to know that. This is what I've been waiting to say this whole time. Forget trying to pull your trousers down. I just wanted to make that one comment. That's it.
Just to clarify, if you all want to sign up, I will run grit every week. Okay, 50 new members, grit runs every week.
Ooh, there we go.
Game on. I'm going to be on the Instagram now this whole time. So, obviously, you guys are a trio. Do you think, because I can't imagine, first of all, I can't imagine running and owning a business. But to do that solely, do you think you could be running this place as one person instead of three? Be honest. Be really honest here.
No. No, I love it, but I don't think I could do it on my own.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to. Like, I probably could, but I don't want to. Like, I really, really value Chris and Cathy's skill sets. Like, Chris is what you're saying earlier about operations. Like, Chris is fucking amazing at it. And like, we joke that he's like our external hard drive because his memory is impeccable.
I love
And
it.
me and Cathy are like goldfish. Honestly, we can't remember like the next thing. And like, yeah, I just wouldn't want to do it without you.
I agree.
Yes, 100%. I could run it on my own. Do not need these two. No, in all seriousness, like it makes it so much easier. Like the skill sets that I don't have social media in any shape or form. Like I've got obviously an account, but I mean, it's redundant, it's empty, and that's not my thing at all.
No.
Like similarly, like Cathy brings so much to like the coaching side of it, and like being able to spend that time in front of the members. Like I have a full-time job. Rachel's a full-time job. Cathy has a full-time job in terms of like gym related, but still a full-time job outside of
CM2.
Coaching. Yeah. And like we couldn't do those without having everyone else to do our bits. If we didn't, like running out on your own with another job, you're screwed. You got absolutely no time.
Yeah.
And you put enough hours as it is.
Yeah.
On your own part without having to cover two other people's bits.
Yeah. So big up all the people out there that are doing it solo. Good for you. I personally wouldn't.
Yeah. And like Rob, who did it before on his own.
And also, let's just give Rob a little bit of a minute here because, I mean, how long did he have CM2 even before it was this place? We're talking 10 years plus, no? Yeah.
11 years.
So, and I think big up to him, you know, he literally birthed it, you know, carried it and pushed it through. Thank you. But I also think I can't fathom how longevity happens for businesses anymore because we're in such a throwaway society, you know. Things are the in thing and then they're not. And then it's an in thing and then it's not. So what is your goal for the longevity?
I guess it is really tough out there for any businesses. Like the economy is hard and rates for everything are like going up. In terms of goals, like we just want like thriving community base, which we already have, but like more of that.
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah, we just want it to be kind of a successful place or a successful business, but also like successful place for members as well. So like we're trying to offer as much as possible, and like with the 24/7 open gym, with the High Rocks, with like everything else that we've got going on, we just want to be able to appeal to lots of people. And like you said earlier, when we're being inclusive, we want to make it as inclusive as possible and let people train when they want and do the training that they want to be able to do, and like offer gymnastics, offer weightlifting, offer kind of all kind of hybrid styles of training really. So
so you're not just that's what I quite like as we're chatting now. Yes, you're CrossFit, but you're not just CrossFit, and I think that's where maybe a lot of gyms are also going wrong. They're just in their one niche. You have to adapt, don't you? You have to go with what the people want.
Yeah, and we've got lots of different types of members. Like lots of people love just coming in and lifting. Lots of people love just coming in and doing the High Rocks classes. So we don't want to just necessarily go down just one route, and yeah, we just want to make it as best as we can for everyone really, and get more people through the door, and like appeal to more people as well, like that haven't even considered this style of training before.
I had a member messaging me this morning actually on Instagram, and she was just saying how she'd like come out of a really hard relationship, and then like CM2 was like her place, and like she'd just met friends here, and like as an adult it's quite hard to meet friends.
Yeah, 100%.
That is it. Like I remember doing a reel where it's like, oh, it's not just a gym, like we broke up, and we like give all those scenarios where the gym is like the place where you can really go and have those people support you and be like, I heard you broke up with so and so, like let's just work out or throw down together. But
I think that's something you see as well, one being around the members so much. Like, you see when they turn up and it's not their day, and you're like, something ain't quite right. And then you speak to them and it's like, I've had quite a few members cry, like, especially at 6 a.m. Like,
First thing in the morning, why are you crying?
You chose to go to the gym at that time, all right? You made your life really hard. But like you instantly know, so you get to learn these people. We're not like a big gym, we're not like a pure gym where you can walk through the door 5 times a week and not a single trainer spoke to you. Like we are there with you all the time. And in terms of that, you actually end up really understanding people when people's like, when they're having a bad day, so like, and you speak to them, they're like, oh, someone spoke to me about it, and then they open up. And you're like, fuck, they've opened up. Now they're crying. I don't know what to do. Then you look for a responsible adult.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, you do, I was joking aside, you do talk to them, and you kind of, it's just so nice. Like, I've had it with you before. Instantly, you walk through the door, something ain't right.
Yeah.
And you know, because.
Well, you know with me because I'm a loudmouth and I'm getting it some, and then when I'm quiet.
Chris is like, what is going on?
But you do, like, you're probably a bit of an extreme example, but like, instantly.
Thank you, I am extreme. Thank you, baby.
You walk through the door and you're flat, instantly you're like, something ain't right. You know, you can see it with other people and they walk through it, just something ain't quite right with them. And you know, and you talk to them and then open up a bit to you.
I think that is really a credit. I know I don't coach, but like to the coaches here, including Chris and Cathy, who are all very, very good at that. So like they're so in tune with the members. Like if you've got anything going on physically and mentally, like they're there. And we really like pride ourselves on the fact that we've got such a fucking amazing coaching team.
Yeah, I would say definitely. I think we've just had Lynn join, haven't we?
Woo, big up Lynn.
Love Lynn. Actually, and do you know what I think is nice is, for me, each coach brings something different to the table. And, you know, I'd sort of done Olympic weightlifting with Ian's workshop on a Sunday. You can join. And I'd watch Lynn lift and I'd just be like, I would just be like, and I did a Sunday strength with him and I was like, cool, okay. And he was like really in with the members. And then he did Monday, and I think we were doing like power snatches and stuff. And he just broke it down just differently. He just communicated very differently. And I just was like, oh my God. And, you know, it's the most simplest thing. Drop the barbell, don't step away, stay on the barbell. So in the end, I ended up holding onto the barbell just the whole time. But it stopped me stepping away. But I was just way quicker. I was way more efficient. And actually, I carried on better. The smallest thing, you know, and, you know, I just think when you're looking at your coaches and your programming, you've got to have coaches that are passionate. And I think that that's something that CM2 echoes really well. Your coaches are passionate about their job.
I think the key as well, because we've got a lot of coaches like who do a section of coaching each. Yeah. Like, rather than having one person that does all of it, and then you're getting one coaching method. Yes. You get like 6 different coaching methods. Yeah. And then like we've got obviously Ian who specialises in Olympic lifting, and then like, you know, we do like classes with Emily doing gymnastics. Like everyone's got their own bit that they bring to the table. And that way you don't end up with just the same coach teaching the same thing. You look at something different, you go, you move a bit weird, but you might not be able to, as a coach, might not see it. Yeah. Understand where it is. And then someone like Rob might come along and go, look, she's not putting her elbows back or something like that. And you're like, oh yeah. Of course. And I think that's the key is by not having, if you have one person doing 30 hours a week, someone might not like them. Yeah. And they're not coming to the gym. Yeah. Like, you know, people go to certain classes where they, you know, maybe have their favourite coach, stuff like probably me. And then, but you have like, you get different things from different people. Yes. And I think that's the key to what we have is by having those coaches available. Yeah. And also available for PT as well. also. So if you get a coach that you really like, you're really interested in how they coach you, then you can PT with them.
Yeah.
I also think it's really kind of good from a coach's perspective to go to different coaches' classes. I love going to different coaches' classes and picking up things from them because I'm like, I've never kind of said it in that way, or I've never. I had a client the other day that I gave him a cue, and he was like, "I've never been told that before," and it's like it's not anything that he hadn't been told before, but it's just the way that I said
different way.
Yeah,
That's
and,
really nice that you say that, because I think some coaches I've met over the years get very pompous and very egotistical. It's my way and my way only. And I think you're always ever evolving, you're always ever growing and changing. So the fact that you will do that and you will go, I think, is also a testimony, A, that you believe in your coaches, which is a testimony, but B, you want to grow and you want to look at things as well, which 100%. Is important.
Yeah. And I think I've said to these guys before, like, one of my proudest things about CM2 is our coaching team. I just think we've got such a solid team. Awesome. And I wouldn't change any of them. Like, they're all amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Except Cathy. Cathy is available for sale. 17 packets of Monster Munch. And she's yours as a coach.
Is it pickled onion flavour Monster Munch? Which one?
In all honesty, to get rid of her, anything.
Anything.
Rude.
Cathy's got nothing to add to that.
Such a dick.
I love that. I think it's really important. And I think also, I think you can get stuck, can't you, in just the same monotonous routine, not just with coaching, not just with your coaches, not just with your members. And I think it's important to be ever growing, ever changing. You guys also take feedback really well.
Yeah.
I know it must be hard, but like, let's just say, have you ever thought about when people leave? Like, I'm an all-in person. So if someone's breaking up with me, I take it personally and I cry about it for quite a long time. How do you go, that's such a shame, but I'm not going to take it personally?
I think it's hard because, particularly me and Rach, I think we have in the past taken things quite personally and thought, why is that person leaving? Or like, why don't they want to be a part of the gym? But then I think that's where Chris kind of brings us back down to reality and says, there's life, that happens. People move, people progress onto different things, people break up with people and move away, or like it just is life. And I think we've kind of grown to think, okay, it's not always,
it's not you,
it's not personal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it has been an evolving process of learning that.
Because we are like, just be members of our gym because we love it. Like, why don't you love it?
Yeah, the passion's there, and I think you can see that. Like, whenever you're communicating anything across the board, it's always passion and it's always your members first.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at this, like, how do you implement stuff like price increases or feedback if members aren't doing a certain thing, or potentially something's happened and you need to rein it in? How do you communicate that to people? A, because you're a business, but B, we're a family and we still care about you. How do you get that balance?
I think there's like a real logic versus emotion thing consistently throughout this business, which is a little bit unheard of in like other businesses, because you don't actually have that much close contact. Like, a lot of people here we would consider to be our friends or like close people to us, right? And it's not always the case with businesses and customers that you'd ever be that close.
Yeah.
So like sometimes that can be a little bit tricky. And I guess like experience and like just been like nearly 2 years we've been doing this now, and again having that dynamic of like 3 different personalities. I mean, it just kind of helps, but also like we are open to feedback constantly. Like, we want to be at the best versions of ourselves. Like, I guess we fell in love with CrossFit to begin with because we wanted to be the best versions of ourselves, and it translates across to business as well. So, I mean, we just try, don't we? We just try and do our best, like, all the time.
I feel like we're never always going to get things right 100% of the time. So I think we've learned to be a little bit reflective on that as well. And yeah, we take feedback on board and we really do action it. And if it's something we feel really strongly about, we'll do as much as we can to kind of make it right, or put in place whatever the members want, if we can do that, if it's possible and financially possible as well.
I love that. And I feel like you guys, you do try your hardest, and there are times where you haven't been able to implement it, but you've given feedback as to why or what's happened. And I think that's important. I know you're a business, but equally when you feel seen and heard as just a person, it means so much more, doesn't it? I
think go on.
I think that's part of it. Like, we are confident that we're trying our hardest.
Yeah.
So even if something was to be like a piece of feedback was to come back that was like, I mean, we haven't had it yet, but a piece of feedback that did really like hurt.
Yeah.
I think I'd just be like, I'm confident that we're doing the best we can
Love
with what
that.
we've got.
I love
Do you know
that.
what I mean? So
Sometimes you just have to back yourself, don't you? You know.
Yeah, we have to feel that what we put out is the best that we can do,
Yeah.
and if that doesn't fit with everyone, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
if what we
Yeah.
doesn't fit you,
That's
find a gym
okay.
that does for you. Like you know, again, when we reach out to people who do trials and
Mm.
don't sign it, it's like, look, good luck. Find something that's right for you.
Yeah.
We may not be that answer. Someone else could be. It's not
I love
like
that.
it's great. We are not moving away from what we do
No.
to satisfy.
Yeah. That was a really good response.
So what you missed is Cathy said that I was the best coach here.
I never said that.
Lossie
Oh,
said
God.
that. Patrick said that. Rach said she sees me as the brother she never had. And basically that's pretty much it. That's all you missed.
That is not pretty much it. But there is one last question. Do you think this is everything you thought it was going to be?
Yes and no.
Mm.
So yes, it is everything that we kind of imagined in terms of the gym, the environment, the passion, and like what we discussed earlier.
Mm.
I think for me particularly, I found taking on a business quite tough.
Yeah.
And like I don't think I'm naturally very business savvy. So for me I found that hard. Yeah, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've had to learn a lot along the way, and I'm still really learning now about how to run a business and how to think like a business owner. I think I might have had a slight kind of imposter syndrome coming into the gym and feeling quite like maybe I felt like maybe I wasn't quite good enough, but I know that I am. I know that I'm good
Wow.
enough for this.
Mm.
And along the way, Rachel and Chris have been really great in kind of making me think that this is what I'm doing now. So
Yeah.
like I've had to switch my mind completely to being business owner, not just
Yeah.
the gym.
Yeah. I love that.
I guess no one really talks about that transition actually.
No.
Like, because we all kind of start somewhere at a job anywhere. So like to go from employee to business mindset isn't always the most natural feeling
No.
like, for people.
No.
But for the record, you're really good at it. And
You
you
told
run.
me.
But like,
all the time. Oh my god.
And they hold hands and they skip at the back of the gym together.
like sisters. But no, like in all honesty, like you say that you're not very good at running a business, but like you run a business. You have nearly 30 PT clients. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's why you can't remember anything.
I love that. If somebody was taking on a business solo or as a duo, a double, whatever, what would be your best piece of advice to them?
Oh, always got to be open to learning. Like,
Yeah.
and you're never going to get it right. You probably won't get it right ever.
Wow.
Like, because what you get wrong kind of informs what is right.
Okay.
So like, actually failing is probably better than like hitting the nail on the head. I actually saw a stat that was like talking about going viral, and it's like you actually don't want to go viral because it's like too much too soon. And it's kind of the same analogy. You kind of want that like slow, steady rise.
Yeah.
And like through that slow, steady rise, you get like the learnings along the way that like, okay, we probably shouldn't have done it like that.
Ordered your 50 pieces.
Literally. Also, my only other bit of advice would be like really think about if you're doing it with people, or if you're doing it solo, then you don't really need to. But like if you're doing it with people, like who those people are. Like we got so lucky with us three.
Yeah.
But, like, do your values align as people?
You just needed someone and you ended up with two. It was like buy one, get one free, eh?
It was great.
This is what we have to put up with every day.
All the time.
Like,
Doesn't like his photo being taken. Doesn't like to be in videos.
To be in the back, silent at the way.
yeah.
He is on a podcast.
Like,
Yeah.
Just to clarify, there's
Mm-hmm.
there's a number of things that you need to be willing to step up for, right? I don't like social media stuff
At all.
I don't like my photo being taken.
Nope.
Like, I'm very, very happy to be in the background, even though I'm quite annoying and quite loud in a room.
Is that all?
Yeah, that is all. I don't actually.
Plenty more.
I don't actually like being in the
The
limelight.
centre, yeah.
And I think that's something you've got to be really comfortable with. It's like,
Yeah.
Rach knows her business in media, right? So she turns and says to me, like, we need to do this. I know we have to do this. It's not a case of like, oh, like, don't do it because
I don't fancy it today.
Yeah, it's like if she's telling me, like, you've got to have faith in the people you're in business with. And if they turn around and say to you, look, we really need to do this,
you've got to be smile and off you go.
And don't expect it to be fun all the time. Like, I went into this thinking, I'm going to train with my mates. We're going to throw down. We're going to
come my gym. Let's have a bro sesh. Let's throw it down.
You're cleaning toilets. You're dealing with complaints, which is absolutely fine because everyone's got things they want to say. But
and it's part and parcel of it.
All. You're moaning about cleaning up sick from Kim Jenkins on the Christmas party. No, don't bib it out. No.
If I can figure out how to bib it, it'll get bibbed. But if not, Kimmy, I owed you one anyway, girl.
So
she bullies me a lot.
But like,
she don't. It's bants.
She is a bully. But it's all those things you think to yourself, like you go into it with this fantasy of like, this is all going to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, we're friends. We're going to do this together. Like, we're going to be awesome. This is going to be great. And then people have things to say about you. You become very like accessible for people to like, that's cool. Like, you know, you've got to harden up to that quite quickly.
Yeah.
And also the reality of like you're dealing with invoices, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with like coaches, you're dealing with it's all this stuff that's not.
It's not factored in, is it?
Like, there's no manual to go, right, we're going to go through this, and this. It's like you get to all this stuff and you go, oh, shit, like.
There's way more to this. Yeah,
like we've got to do this. Like, those toilets ain't cleaning themselves. Like, you know, that rower doesn't fix itself. All this stuff has to be done. And you're either got to get someone in to do it or you've got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And it isn't just all the fun and games that people think it's going to be. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of awesome stuff about it.
Yeah.
But it is work. And
it is.
Yeah. And I think, kind of on that point, I think working as a 3 is amazing. Like, I love working with these guys, but you've also got to be prepared that things might not always go the way you want it. So, like we said earlier, these two often have like really good ideas. I'm not sure that's going to work, or I don't know if that's what is good for the gym. But actually, you just got to go with it. And like, I think you just got to know that you're in it together, and your ideas might not be the best ideas, but
you've got 2 other people to back you, which I think is lovely. And I think if it was me, I think I might not think about being more solo. I might actually think about going into business with other people, purely because actually I'm not business minded like that. I do definitely need somebody that can either financially or mentally, intelligently, because I'm basically, when you come into the restaurant, I'm the person that's going to greet you and give you your menus.
Yeah.
And maybe take your money, and that's it. I ain't going to do no cooking for you, and I definitely ain't going to serve it.
Do you remember when you walked in here thinking that you couldn't do things and originally as a member?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. Like,
true.
If you had I kind of have this saying, like with my design business, like I backed myself into a corner so much that I had no choice but to make it work. Like I left my job owing them £300 because I had like a travel loan.
Oh my God.
I was in my overdraft. I had borrowed Jay's credit card to buy a laptop, which was like £2,500. So I was like, I have got 1 month to make this work. Like, I've got 1 month to make money. And like, I was like, if I don't do it in a month, then I'm just gonna have to take a job and like do whatever.
Go back.
And like, I made it work. And I do think like it's like this daunting thing where you don't know how to do business, but the reality of it is there's no one way to do business, and one way for someone might not be the right way for you either. Like, you talk about finances, that you would fucking make sure you knew that you were earning enough money.
Yeah, true.
If you had to pay your mortgage or you had to pay your rent, So like, I don't know.
Yeah,
you've got it in you. I think everybody has.
I like that. And on that note, that was 2 cups of tea with me and these cool kids at CM2. If you want to come down for a free class, I'll come and join you.
Yes.
Why the fuck would I say that?
Class.
Fucking stupid.
Classes in a day.